In the heart of Italy, as the 14th century waned, a cultural awakening stirred, promising to unfurl the petals of a slumbering ancient world. Florence, cradled in the lush Arno Valley, became the cradle of an unprecedented artistic and intellectual bloom. Amidst its bustling streets, a young sculptor, Donatello, chiseled life into marble, reviving the classical beauty of Greece and Rome. In shadowed cathedrals, architects like Brunelleschi studied ancient ruins, dreaming of domes that would kiss the heavens. The air buzzed with new ideas, as scholars scoured forgotten Latin and Greek texts, unearthing wisdom lost for centuries. In this era of rediscovery, a banker's son, Cosimo de' Medici, emerged, his wealth and passion fueling the city's transformation. Artists and thinkers found a patron in Medici, and under his wing, they dared to dream, blending realism with the ethereal. In the vibrant workshops, a young apprentice, Leonardo da Vinci, sketched the world in ways unseen, his mind whirling with curiosity. The streets of Florence were not just a canvas for artists but a stage for political drama, where power and artistry intertwined. As the Renaissance spirit flourished, it whispered to the rest of Europe, carrying winds of change across mountains and seas. In Venice, the glow of Titian's palette illuminated canvases with warmth and depth, capturing the very soul of his subjects. Across the Alps, in the German lands, Gutenberg's printing press clattered, a revolution in ink, bringing knowledge to the masses. The Renaissance was not only a rebirth of arts, but a rethinking of humanity itself, questioning the place of man in the cosmos. In this new dawn, science and art danced closely, as anatomists like Vesalius delved into the human body, artists intently watching. Women of the Renaissance, like Isabella d'Este, navigated the corridors of power, influencing art and politics with a subtle hand. Music too began to swell in complexity and beauty, as composers like Palestrina wove harmonies that echoed through cathedrals. In Florence's Piazza della Signoria stood the towering David, Michelangelo's testament to the power of human will and artistry. The very fabric of society was changing as the middle class grew, their desires and money shaping the art and culture of the day. As the 15th century drew to a close, the Renaissance spirit, vibrant and uncontained, began to seep into every crack of European life. Yet beneath this golden age of creativity, tensions simmered, the bright light of the Renaissance casting deep unresolved shadows. As the 16th century dawned, the Renaissance's glow reached Rome, where lavish papal courts became hotbeds of artistic patronage. Raphael, young and ambitious, adorned Vatican walls with frescoes, his brush weaving the spiritual with the human, the divine with the earthly. Yet this flourishing of arts and ideas was not without its critics. Voices of religious leaders like Martin Luther began to rise, challenging the status quo. The harmonious world of the Renaissance was now punctuated by the dissonance of the Reformation, tearing at Europe's religious tapestry. In England, the Renaissance bloomed differently, its petals ink-stained with the words of Shakespeare, who captured the human spirit in verse. Science too continued its bold march, as Copernicus in Poland gazed at the stars and dared to imagine a sun-centered universe. The wave of exploration, spurred by the Renaissance, led seafarers like Columbus to new worlds, forever altering the global map. The wealth from these voyages filled the coffers of nations and funded the arts, but also sowed the seeds of colonialism and exploitation. As the Renaissance matured, so did its complexities. Beauty and enlightenment walked hand in hand with conflict and inequality. In Spain, El Greco captured the fervor and intensity of the era, his elongated figures a dance of the divine and the earthly. The Renaissance was a mosaic of contrasts. Opulent courts coexisted with poverty-stricken streets, the human condition in stark relief. Women, though often in the background like Sofonisba Anguissola, broke barriers with their art, challenging societal norms. The spread of the printing press meant ideas traveled faster than ever, igniting discussions and debates in cafes and universities. The Renaissance was not just an artistic movement, it was a cultural storm, altering perceptions of beauty, power, and knowledge. As the 16th century progressed, the Renaissance faced the challenge of its own success, its ideals clashing with emerging realities. In Italy, the once mighty city-states, consumed by their own hubris and rivalries, began to fade, their glory slowly dimming. The legacy of the Renaissance, however, was indelible. It laid the groundwork for the modern world in thought, art, and science. It was a time when humanity reached for the stars, yet grappled with its own earthly limitations. a paradox at the heart of the Renaissance. As the flames of the Renaissance began to flicker, they left behind a world forever changed, enlightened and haunted by its own reflections. In the end, the Renaissance teaches us about the boundless potential of the human spirit, but also the shadows cast by our brightest lights.